Hi, this is Matt Bradley-Tschirgi, and I'm taking a look at the new stuff that leaked for Final Fantasy IV Pixel Remaster. I talked about this a bit earlier in the week, a rumored release of next week of this game, and sure enough, on one of the Twitch streams on Square Enix Japan, I believe, on Reddit in the Final Fantasy thread there, subreddit, excuse me, Suna x Zawada 10 posted a video from this stream, and it showed footage of the opening cutscene of Final Fantasy IV. We get to hear two different pieces of music, rearranged by Nobuo Uematsu for the Pixel Perfect Remastered, so we'll discuss the music in a later video, but for now, look at the commentary I give on this video as it plays. I think it looks good, looks very faithful, and it makes sense. You know, Final Fantasy IV is 16-bit, Final Fantasy 1, 2, and 3 were 8-bit, so when they do the Pixel Perfect Remaster, I think there's less work they have to do adapting the graphics. So, I mean, aside from the colors being more vibrant and some maybe like shadows being changed, they look better when you upscale. I think this looks pretty familiar to the SNES, and more importantly, to my mind, the music has a great orchestral punch with the brass, with the percussion, with the strings. It just sounds lovely. I'm very excited for this game to come out. So this is a look at the intro of Final Fantasy IV Pixel Remaster. The ocean has that same nice lighting effect you see in the Final Fantasy 1, 2, and 3 Pixel Remaster. Rumors are showing that Final Fantasy IV Pixel Remaster is going to come out on Steam and mobile sometime this coming week. So we'll see if that comes to pass, but in Japan they did a Twitch stream of Final Fantasy IV Pixel Remaster. It's nice. My Japanese, unfortunately, I cannot translate this really, but you can see clearly this is the intro cutscene of Final Fantasy IV, where the main character Cecil is still a Dark Knight working for the Baron. And they're about to do a terrorist incident, killing these wizards and stealing a crystal of some kind. Might be the water crystal, if memory serves. It's been a while. So we can see, I mean, this is authentic to the SNES look, but yet a bit more vibrant with the colors. And this arrangement of the Nobuo Uematsu opening theme just has really punchy brass and percussion, and has a very serious John Williams or Jerry Goldsmith tone for those of you who are movie soundtrack fans. And whether the whole score for Final Fantasy IV is so serious, or if they add more electric guitar and stuff, we'll just have to see when the game comes out. But I am hoping that is sooner than later. I mean, this Final Fantasy IV, in the United States, it was released on SNES originally as Final Fantasy II. And as part of that, I mean, Final Fantasy II was a launch title. It was an RPG, and it was hyped heavily in Nintendo Power Magazine in particular. You had posters that had just screenshots from this opening cutscene, and so I had an imagined version of this game in my head. And then my friend of mine, Matt Ballone, had it on SNES. I went to his house, and he was an only child, so we had all sorts of video games and video game systems, and I got to see this come to life, and it was just real kind of life-changing compared to what the NES RPGs like Dragon Warrior and Ultimate 3 and stuff like that had going on. In this beginning, you can see those opening battle scenes. You're on auto battle. You don't control what happens. He's fighting things like the Crow and using the special kind of magic and Dark Knight powers to be kind of a cool badass. At the same time, he feels kind of conflicted. Like, why am I attacking these relative civilians, more or less, in the city, and just to get these crystals over and over again? What's my purpose in life? And such. We get to hear a second piece of music here coming up, which is of the Baron's castle, and eventually you get to take control of Cecil and explore the castle and talk to your fiance or wife or whatever, Rosa, and all that fun stuff. And notice here with the Pixel Remaster, you don't get distortion with these kind of graphics when you're on the different vehicles. In Mode 7 on the original SNES version, stuff looked very pixelated towards the edge of the screen and not quite as smooth as the stuff does here. You hear this dun da 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 da, you know, very serious again. The captain is kind of yelling at you if I'm home correctly. And you get kind of doing a tutorial of the game, and there we go. In some ways, Final Fantasy IV is the best out of the first 6 Final Fantasy games, but I'll get into that sometime later. And remember to If you like this, like and subscribe, and also post comments down below. You know, I communicate with my commenters. We've had good discussions on the music, different changes in various versions, and out of all the Final Fantasy games, especially these first 6, Final Fantasy IV has been re-released the most. Whether it's in the complete collection for PSP or the mobile version, and you have After Years, which is on the cell phone, and the Wii, and on the Steam version, which uses the 3D graphics of the 3D version of Final Fantasy IV. Lots of stuff going on. So yeah, if you like this, you know, like, subscribe, all this crazy stuff, add comments, and I will do a video coming up soon about the music clips we hear in this from Final Fantasy IV Pixel Remaster. As Golbez would say, give me the crystal. I don't know if that's his line. He'd say something like that, right?